about so we're discussing about lists. We're discussing about lists. So if you look at some documents, you always see, like in the Microsoft Word, you can see a list where you use some kind of bullets to describe something. I may have something I want them to appear in order, like 1, 2, 3, 4. I just put them in a list. For example, I want to say list of ingredients, and I want to put them in order. So if I want to put something in a list, there is a tag we call the list tag. So we'll be looking at the list tag today. We'll look at the table tag and be able to look at, after the list tag, we'll look at how to link our pages. Then we'll look at the image tag. So if I want to create a list, for example here, I want to say we have 3 types of lists. We have, when you talk about a list, you can decide that a list is just like a content that appear one after another. I may have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now there are 3 different types of lists I may have. I may decide that my list should be numbered. If I feel that you must read the first one before the second one, then before the third one, that the list is a kind of ordered list. Then in HTML, we still have that tag called the ordered list and unordered list. For example, now I want to list 5 ingredients, and I discovered that I said to myself, yes, the order matters. If the order matters, what do? I will just come here and open my tag. Then if you open your tag, you have what they call this is called the OL list. This is called ordered list. You see, all the tags we have, they mean something. If you look at this, OL stands for ordered list. Then within this list, I can put the things like my list of ingredients. I can now put another tag called L1. Now inside this L1, let me say this is ingredient 1. Or let me just say red pepper. I'm just putting things there. Okay, red whatever. Let me say list of color. Then here I now put L, another LI again. I now put blue. I can come here and have outside here something like P paragraph here. I now say list of colors. So you can put as number of lists as you want here. But just understand that this begins with OL, and OL stands for order list. When I mean by order list, it means this will be 1 and this will be 2. So let me go and put another LI. If I put another LI here, then I have here yellow. So if I view this on my browser, you see the way it appears. You have your red, blue, yellow. It appears orderly. Now, if I decided that the things I want to display, the order does not matter. Because there are kind of things you want to display something sequentially, but it doesn't matter the one that comes first, or the one that comes second, or the one that comes last. So if I have such lists, what I need to do is
oh, I'm enjoying it.
Just remove the O and put U. So if I remove the O and put U, this is what I see. It now appears in bullet. So in this way now, it means that it is an ordered list, meaning that how it appears does not matter, but I want it to appear sequentially, the first one, the second one, the third one, but the order does not matter. So when the order matters, you can now use your word ordered list. That is why we call it ordered list. But if the order does not matter, you can use your what? You can use your So now, what is the difference? The difference is between UL and OL. Every other thing is the same thing. UL stands for an ordered list, and OL stands for what? Ordered list. So that's basically the difference. But there is a time I will decide that, okay, this is my list now. I don't want them to appear in terms of numbers. I want them to appear in terms of numeric number, or you understand. So I don't want them to appear in number. There are something you can do here, but it must be an orderly. Remember that on order lists, how it appears, it does not matter. So assuming I'm using OL now, this is OL, which is order list, but you know, by default, it appears as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I said no. I want them to appear like A, B, C, D, and what have you. It's very simple. All you need to do, just go here and specify the type. So you see, if you specify the type, you can see a list. The default is the first one you are seeing here, which is 1. 1 means it should appear in numbers. 1, 2, 3. So if I want them to appear in A capital, I will just put on my type, I will just put A. For them to appear in A, that is alphabet, but in lowercase, I will just put small a. But if I want them to appear in Roman numerals, and I want to use the upper Roman numerals, I will just use I. If I want to use the small one, I will just use the small I. So now let's go. I want this thing to appear in A. I can just come here and change this thing to A, type A. Then if I go and view it now on my page, you see how it appears now? Now you have it as red, blue, yellow. Now let's go and change that A to lowercase now. If I go and change it to a lowercase letter, which is A, please, you don't put lowercase C, O. You must put lowercase of A. So if I now come here and refresh, did you see how it appears now? It appears in lowercase. Now, if I now go back again and decided to put I, now I expect this thing to appear in Roman numeral. So I can now save and click preview. Did you see how it appears in lower Roman numeral? So let's go and put the capital I and see how it appears. I just want to make sure I go through all of them. So I now put the capital I. So I'm expecting to get them in what? Upper Roman numeral. So I can save and now come here and preview. So that's just basically what we have as a list. But let me tell you one important thing. You see, this list is very, very important. Let me show you why this is important. We can use this list to do a lot of things. When I visit a site, like let me go to something like Cavista.com. I'm just selecting a random site. Are you seeing my page where I have the home, about, services, careers, and contacts?
Yes.
Yes. You see this thing you see here? You may be surprised. They are links. We are going to discuss. The next thing we are going to discuss after this is links. But this thing you see here, they are all what? They are all lists. So we are going to see how we can use CSS to convert this our list, to convert them into what? A navigation, let me just say a nav bar. So let me just give you a test of that. Don't just worry what you are seeing. If I come to my list now, this is the list I have. What I want to do now, just forget it. That's not the essence of what I just want. When we go to CSS aspect, you are going to get the whole detail. But I just want to tell you, for you to see a lot of things you can do with lists. Imagine I come to this my list now. I give it a class called. We are going to go to these things into detail. Just I want to show you the things you can do with lists. It's not just to list items. You can use it to create what they call your navigational bar. That your link you see there. You can, if I come here and say this is let me give it a class and call breadcrumb. Don't worry for now if you don't understand what this is all about. It's not the essence of this thing, but just I want to use it to illustrate something. Now here I have what they call breadcrumb. Breadcrumb-item. I just want to show you the power of what lists can do because we use it every day. So it's something that you need to understand. Just master the difference between the other lists and on other lists. Now, I told you there are a lot of things that appear on the site. And one of the things that appear on the site is we are going to still go into all these things, but for now, don't bother about what I'm doing now. Link. So I'm going to pick something from somewhere. I will say get Bootstrap CDN. I just want to pick something. I just want to copy this guy. I want to view this my page. Did you see how my list appear? Did you see how my list appear? You see, so it has been styled somehow for me. We have red, blue, yellow. You see, instead of appearing as a list. So what I'm trying to say is that you can style your list and make them to become. I did not do anything. Don't worry about what I did. What I just want you to understand is that you can use your list to create a navigation. So we are going to do it when we get to CSS. But just master, because when we get there, just master the list and what you can do. But just understand today is that when we go to CSS, we'll still be coming to HTML, and we'll be looking at a lot of things we can put on HTML. Remember, I told you that HTML can contain, there are 3 key technology that the webs understand. One of them is HTML, the second is JavaScript, and the second one is CSS. Most of these things will be, both the HTML, the JavaScript, and the CSS, they are all related together. So we'll be joining them together to build a full-fledged application. So, but the most important thing for you to understand now is that how to create a list. So there is another list again. That's the last list. We have 3 types of lists as far as HTML is concerned. So we have seen the other lists and we have seen on other lists. They are just the same thing. The only difference is what you put on this parent tag here. So the only difference is what you put here. It can either be UOL, OO, OL or UL, OL, other list, UL on other list. So let's talk about the next list. The next list we have is called definition list. So I'll quickly explain this list, then we can go. So this starts with DL. Here, instead of here, you have definition list. I close it here with DL. And here, the next thing I will have here is DL. Then here you close it with what? DT. So let me tell you what definition list. What it means is that just like you have used dictionary. All of us have used dictionary before. And when you go to have a dictionary, you have the keyword boy, girl. Then you now have the definition of what that boy stands for. And that's exactly what the definition list do. Let's assume this is a red. Then I want to define what this red stands for. I can come here and open another tag, which is the detail, which is DD. I can now define what red, the meaning of red. So I can create this list where I have a term and a definition. So anytime I want to display something on the web that I have a term and definition, here I have, let's say I have something here, then I want to define what I put it here like blue, then I want to define it. I can come here and write whatever the thing stands for. You have seen something like that where you have a term and you have a definition, you have a term, like even if I'm writing a term paper in school those days, where they will tell me there are some keywords I will use, then I need to define such keywords. If I put the keywords, I give the definition. Even if you are reading Bible, for some of us here that are Christians, at the back of your Bible, at the index page, you always have a term and you have a definition of that term. They will define something, they will tell you the meaning of that thing. So that's the same thing that is applicable here. So when you have something of that stuff you want to display in a page in terms of terms and definition, you can use your definition list. It's very simple. You have the DL there, this tag here. This tag stands for definition list. Then the next thing is the term. The next thing is the definition of that term. You start again. The next thing is the term, and this is the definition of the term, the DD. So most of these contents, as we are learning it today, we are just learning it and putting everything ourselves. Sometimes we are going to fetch all this thing from DB when we learn about part of our series here is that we are going to learn SQL. So when we learn about SQL, we are going to learn how to build DB, how to create a database from scratch, tables, relationship, and all the rest. So when we do it, we'll be able to connect our application to this DB. We can retrieve our data and be able to create all these things on the fly. So we'll see how to do all these things. But for now, just understand the concept. Just get the concept of what DL stands for. Whenever you use DL, you use your DT and use your what? DD. DL stands for definition list, DT stands for definition term, that is the item you want to define, and DD stands for the definition detail. So I can save this thing now, and let's view it on the browser and see what we get. So this, you see the way it appears? You see the term red, you see the meaning, you see the way he created a kind of, he give a kind of a tab, and he give you the meaning. Now you have blue. Now you see the meaning of the blue. Then you have black. You see the meaning of the black. So anytime you want to display things in terms of terms and the definition of that thing, like the way we have in a dictionary, like the way you have in your Bible, in the index of your Bible, so in the way you have in most of books, so you can just use what? Your definition list. So that's all about the definition list. But I told you that this list we can use for a lot of things, but this is just the basic and the purpose for which it is meant for. But whatever thing we are going to use it.
Yes. Sorry, Kelechi, McDonald, your camera seems to be on. Can you please turn it off? Yeah. Okay, you can continue, Kelechi.
All right. So I sincerely believe that we all understand whenever I mention about list in terms of when I talk about HTML, we all understand what it stands for. And as of today, we all are aware now that we have three types of lists. There are ordered lists, unordered lists, and definition lists. And we know when to use one. And when to use the ordered list is when the order matters. And when to use the unordered list is when the order does not matter. That is a time you are retrieving something in database. You want to retrieve something, and or you go to a shopping mall, you want to buy something. It doesn't matter what to buy first. You can buy them anywhere. But there's a time that matters based on your budget. You say, okay, I need to buy this one first before I buy this one, before I buy this one, before I buy this one. So when you want to list your budget that way and you want to use an HTML to construct your page, you can put them in order. And putting in order, what do you need to use? You need to use ordered lists to do such thing. So when the order does not matter because I have a lot of money. So what do? I can list my items using unordered list. So that's the basis. I hope we all understand this guy. So I will clear this guy now. I will talk about links. Sorry, I will start the slide, but let me just walk you through. I just believe in doing and seeing. So we'll talk about links. So let me go to a site now. I want to go to, let's go to this my site. So if you look at this guy now, this is called Cavista. Then I can click here, about. So look at here. What happens? It takes me to another aspect of their site that has a content about the company. So we are going to see how to create this link now. So if I go to career page, it takes me to another aspect of their site that has to do with what? Career. So how do we create links? Imagine I'm building an application. The essence of website, I told you the essence of websites. A website is a collection of pages. So all this while we are learning how to build a page. But when I want to build a website, I can build many pages. Then if I build all these pages, how do I link them together? There must be a way I should link them together so that the user can go from one page to another. That's the essence of building an application. So we'll call it navigation, to enable the user to navigate from one aspect of your application or your website to another aspect. So if I want to add navigation, it's very simple. All you need to learn is what we call the A tag. The A tag is simply like this. A stands for the A tag, then you close it. So this is the A tag. Now, I've been talking about tag. There are something we call attributes. So this tag now, this kind of tag is called what? They are called void tag. They don't have a closing. Okay, don't worry. Let's go. Let me just close it. It's not a void tag actually. So I can just close it like this. I can put my A. Sorry. So this is the closing tag and this is the opening tag. Now look inside this tag. I'm putting something called HREF. So this HREF simply means hypertext reference. It means that it's referencing something somewhere. It's referencing something somewhere. So that's what this thing stands for, hypertext reference. So it is here that I can, if I have another page, I can reference the page. How do I reference the page? Let me go and add another page on here. Let me create another page that says about. Always remember that the extension is always what? .html. And I told you it can be .html, .htm, but don't use .htm. That's how we used to do it before, but things have changed. Now the extension is always what? .html. So let me say I have here call about. Here I can just simply put in my h1 tag. Remember I told us the last time that we have how many headings? We have 6 heading tags. That the most important one is what? h1, and the least important one is what? The h6. So in my h1 now, I can say, welcome to about us. So now the question is, somebody is coming to this my page. Assuming this, I'll talk what we mean by landing page. Assuming this is the page that somebody sees when it goes to www.genesis.com. But I want the person from this page to be able to see about us. How do I do it? It's very simple. All I need to do here is come here. Now put about.html here. And this is the page I'm linking to. This means hypertext reference, meaning this is referencing this guy. But what would the person see? Whatever text you want the person to see. If you want the person to see about, type it here. If you want the person to see about us, put about us. Whatever you want the person to see, and when he clicks on that text, it will take him to about.html. This is where you put it, inside here. So this your text can be anything, like the way when I go to Kavista now, look at this one, they have home, about, services, so they put their content there. So that content is what is the same thing that we have here. So where do we link it? We link it to about. So let's save this guy and view it and see whether it will take us to about where we have welcome to about us. So if I go to so I have this link. Did you see something? You see it's underlined. So when we learn about CSS, we should be able to decide whether we want it to be underlined. Like if you watch here, if you watch the one of Kavista, it's not underlined. So we can decide whether we want to see that underlined or we don't want to see that underlined. So if I click on this link now, hurrah, it takes me to what? Welcome to about us. Brethren, ladies and gentlemen, this is what web is all about. It's just about connecting pages together. That's just what web is all about. If I want to go back from what? If I want to go back from home now, from this about us page to my welcome page, what do I do? If I don't want to click on the bad button, I can simply go to this guy. I can simply go to my home, my about. I'm here. What do I do? I just create another link here. I'll just call it what? Welcome.html, because I want someone to be able to go from my about page to my welcome page. I'll just type here welcome.html, as simple as that. So I can now come here and save now. I'm in my example. If you look at top here on my browser, I'm in example.html. If I come here, I'm in welcome to, so this should be, sorry, let me just go back to welcome page. Let me just say go back. So that just basically go back. It takes me, oh, sugar. You say welcome.training1. Sorry, let's look at the spelling of what we type, whether they are correct. Okay, it's not welcome, it's example. It's not, so he couldn't see the page. He looked for the page, he did not see it because there is nothing like welcome. So what I have there is example.html, please. So it's example that I have there. That's why the page, he couldn't see it because that page welcome does not exist. So if I go back here and refresh, now I say go back, it take me to what? Example.html. I click on about us, it take me to what? Welcome. So that's how you link your pages together. But if you look at, let's go to let me go to, okay, I'm not seeing what I want to explain here. Let me go to Jumia and see whether I can see it. Did you see something? I hover over this party here. I see what? Jumia party. It gets me a 2 tips that say Jumia what? Party. If I hover over here now, it show Jumia now. If I hover over here, it tell me Jumia food. If I hover over here, I will see Jumia pay. Then if you want your site to have such 2 tips, it's very simple. All you need to do is you can come here and put, please, this thing here, this href, it is called an attribute. The A we have here is the element or the tag. So this one here is the attribute. You understand? So an element can have what? An attribute. It is like saying an attribute. What is an attribute? Something that describes something. So always understand that A is the element. Any other thing I'm putting there is the attribute. So I want to put another attribute called title. Please. Now I now say the go back to example page. So what this thing means is that if I now go to about us page, now look at this now, you can see it. It says go back to what? Example page. So this is called 2 tips. 2 tips. TOOLTIP. Tool tip. In case you have been an application, say, I need a 2 tip. Go and add a 2 tip. So this is what the person is saying. And whenever you are building a 2 tip, it does not matter whether it is this tag. You can put a 2 tip in any tag. So I can decide to put it anywhere. But just understand that what it stands is for when you hover over it, you'll be able to see whatever that is here. I can decide that I want to put it in my hashtag. I can put it typed here and now say Kelechi. I can save it. I can come here. I can view it. I can go back to this guy is still there. I can go back. Where is my, let me go to my, well, okay, I put it in about, let me go to about us. I come here. So you see Kelechi there. So you can put 2 tips anywhere. Anywhere you want to provide additional content, but it's advisable for you to always put your 2 tip on your what? On your navigational tags, navigational elements, but it can be anywhere. So it doesn't matter where you have it. So don't bother now. I will still discuss about how you organize your site. So okay, we're going to talk about
Kelechi, I think Olarawaju Lawal has a question.
All right.
So Olarawaju can unmute and ask a question.
Okay. Thank you very much for this well-organized training. Very fascinating. The aspect whereby you are linking them together is quite interesting. But the other aspect I need to ask question, maybe I should have asked yesterday, is that you save a folder for all this, right? And you are wrapping into it, because I could see some set of parts. whereby
Yes.
we can click and go back into. So I need that aspect to be clarified so that I'm not lost in between.
Okay, now if you look at my site now, if you look at, okay, let's just do this. Let me open this guy. Do you see where my content is? You understand? They are all on the same folder.
Okay.
So they're all on the same folder, but that does not mean that all my pages should be on the same folder. There can be, let's assume I have another folder. Now let me create another folder so that we'll get this thing, I want to come to this one early, but since there's a question, I can create another folder called, let me create this folder called my pages. Normally I have the pages. Now I want to move these two. Okay, I want to move them to my pages. Now I want to create another. Now I come here. Now, if you look at here now, I have two core pages. Now, imagine inside this page, I want to add another. Inside this my training folder, rather, not inside my page again. This is my training folder. I want to add another page called index. Sorry, let me do something quickly. Do you see my layout now? I have pages. Here I put all my pages. Here I put another page called index. So you see, so these two are inside these pages, but this one is outside this page. Now, if I want to link, imagine this is my index page. Let me say #1. Let's come to index page. Now, imagine inside this my index page, I want to be able to go from my index page to my about page. Please pay attention here. If I do #arrow, this, so what I need to do now, remember that the way my index page sits is different from where my word sits, where my about and example sheet. I can do something like this. Dot stands for, whenever I use a dot stands for the current place you are. I can say /, I put my pages. You see, it has brought the pages up for me. Then I can select index. Do you understand? So whenever you see dot stands for, we'll discover about how to go from this to, let's say, 2 level or 3 level, depending on how you arrange your page. But I'm going to give us a proper way for us to arrange our page. But for now, if I want to move from my index to outside my page, index always stands for // stands from this current place I am, which is index here. I want to go to the page folder, the pages folder. Then I want to look to the what? Example.html page. Okay. So I have this guy. So if I now save this one now and come to my browser now, so I need to change this thing to index. So what I'm seeing now is welcome to index page. So from this index page now, I click this guy. It now takes me to the example page. Now from example page now, I can go to about us page. I click here. It takes me to about us page. I click here now because this one is linking back to what? To the example page. If I click it, it takes me to the example page. But I don't have a link here that will take me back to index page. So the thing there is that I will still let us know the best way you can organize your pages. So we are going to, because the essence of this thing is for us to be thoroughly aware of all the best use cases.
The major guy is the href reference and that dot to look those pages. The href.
Yes, the href. And what does the dot stands for? The dot stands from current directory. Which one is the current directory? The current directory is my training.1.
Okay.
My training.1 is the current directory because that is where my index page. My index is where? It's on this folder. You can see this folder called training1.
Yes, yes.
Then my index is on training1, right? And I say
Yes.
from this current directory, meaning dot, I want to go /. This one is still
So
on the
that's
directory. That's why I have to select pages. Then I now select a document inside the pages.
Okay.
But when I did these ones, if you look at this one, if you look at these two, because they are in the same page, I don't need to put anything. I just reference them directly. Do you understand?
Okay.
Because they are all on the same, page, they're on the same folder, so they can see each of them can see themselves. They are brothers. They know themselves. I don't need to reference them. But for this one, I have to tell him where this one is. That's why I say from the current directory, which is training, go to page, then go to what? Then go to, then I need a page called example.html. Okay, so we'll get to detail. You see, this thing we are learning now, honestly, to be frank, you're not going to be writing this. Okay? In the real world, you're not going to be writing this. You can't even write this. We have a lot of tools that will help you with all these things. But it's good for you to understand how they work because it's people that develop that tool. So I don't know where your interview will take you tomorrow. I don't know where you go tomorrow. It's not about developing application. You can build the tools, be among the people that will be working. Not necessarily you can even write application all the whole of your life, and nobody can even see a code you have written. Just that people will be millions of people will be using your tools on daily basis. So I don't know where you are going to land finally. That's why we are going this way so that you understand the mechanism of all these things. So that's how we link pages together. Now the question is, imagine I want to go from my index page here. I want to go to Google page. I want to link to external page outside my site. How do I go about that? So if I want to look to external page, let's assume we want to link to the popular google.com. All I need to do is go to that site, go to that external site you want to look. Let's assume we want to look to Google. I can go to Google now. This is Google site. All I need to do is copy this URL here. I'll just copy it. I'll just come here. I will just paste it inside here. Then I will now come here. I will now say Google. As simple as that. Now look at this difference. You have your HTTP, your HTTPS, or it can be HTTP or HTTP. We're going to talk about that later. But this is Google. So what this means is that if I click here, you take me to Google. But please, you look at this page, you ask me a question. I was expecting a question. The question is, you never refer to any page. You just refer to google.com, but you never requested for a particular page. Then how come Google was able to serve me this page? Does it mean that this page does not have a name? Now, for every time you build your application, when we learn about, we are going to learn how to set a web development environment. Because here we are just learning about the tag. We are going to learn how to set a web development. We are going to set up a server here. Then in that server, we are going to create our application and take them and put on that server. Now, when I put application in that server, within that server, I will tell the application is that when somebody visits this my system and type www.genesis.com, this is the page I want you. The person never specify any page. This is the page I want you to serve. It is called the default page. So whenever you are building an application for anybody, anywhere, always remember what? Default page. Your default page is page that will be served to the person whenever he visited your what? Your server. Your server is where you put your applications. That's place where you put application that is you now want the world to see it and be able to see the things you have done. So on that server you put it, you can decide to say that this is the very page I want them to see. So whenever you specify that, every site has it, every application has it. That is why here I never specify a page. Now, if I come here and if I come to this our applications now, sorry. Where do I put the, okay, I put it on the index page, sorry. So let's go to our index page. Okay, sorry. You know why we have find not found, right? Because our index page is not sitting on the pages. Is it on what? Is it where? Is it on the training folder? So this is where it sits. So that's why the person say find not found, because he can't find it. Can't find a page called index.html inside the pages folder. It is where it is on the training folder. Now, if I click on the training folder, now I can see it. Now, if I click here, I'm expecting this thing. Please look at my system. Look at the bottom of my system. You are seeing something called HTTPS. If you look at the bottom of my system, you can see at the bottom by your left-hand side, you will see www.google.com. But you are seeing it, right? So it's telling you where it's going to take you to. So if I click here, it takes me to Google. So let me try to see if I know what is their index page. If I type index.html, let me see where Google will take me to. It takes me at the same page. It means that inside Google, their default page is what? Index.html. If you want to prove me correct, if I come here, let me type another thing that is not index.html and type gen.html and see what happened. Not found. It couldn't find it. So it is index.html is the default page. And please, when you are building your application, nobody says you should use index.html as your default page. I will tell you how to make a page a default when we go to our. It's not on this module. So because when we do a course that has to do with like the MVC, that has to do with setting up a server, is part of what we are going to do to get together. Then I will show us how we can make a page to be the index page. But now, try to understand that normally, conventionally, but nobody says you should do it. We normally name our default page as default.html or index.html. It can be index.anything, but it always bear the name index and what? Default. That's why, because I know this, that's why I go to Google and type google/index.html, and Google was able to serve it to me. You understand? So assuming I did index.html and I see page not found, I would have done default.what? HTML. So always remember, and when you are building your own, you do something that when people comes and look at it, it makes sure you are following convention. But nobody says it should be index or it should be default. All right. So that's that for linking of our pages. But there are something I want us to imagine. I want to go to, let's go to this site called, let's talk about, I've seen some people that created a page. When they create that page, what they do is that within the same page, I can create a page and just one page. Inside that page, I can have services, I can have about us, I can have careers. If I click on one particular aspect, instead of taking me to another site, it will take me to the same page, but jump to a particular section that has to do with services. If I click on about us, within the same page again, it will go there to where the about us page is. So let's see how to do that. We'll call it name anchor. So what you learn now is the basics, but I'm going to teach us how to create what? Named anchor. Always remember, name anchor, you are linking to a particular section within the same page or another page, but it's a section. Imagine I'm in this page. I'm in my page here. Imagine I'm in my page here. I click on example. Instead of taking me to another page, it takes me to the same page that has to do with what? Examples. So let's quickly see how to do such thing. We'll call it name anchor. How to create name anchor. So I'll work with my index page here. I want to pick some text. I want to go and generate some text. I'll go to those guys. So I just want to generate some text so that we can use it to illustrate what we intend to do. How to link to a very big pages that contain my document. Okay, imagine I have a page. I have this like this. within div. So let me see, copy another one. I need a very large. So look at this one. This one says about, sorry. Okay, now I want to say something, please. There are some places you go, you will see images. You click an image, it will take you to another site or take you to somewhere else. So we are going to see how to put images and make them clickable. But for now, we have not gone to images. So when we are discussing images, try to remind me so that we can show how to, because we have not shown you how to display images yet. It's going to be the next thing we are going to discuss after this now, how to display images. When we talk about how to display images, we can now see how we can use an image of something that we can click. Because if you look at Jumia now, if I go to Jumia, if you look at this thing, I can click it. It's an image, it's not a link. It's a link really in the actual sense, but I can click it. If I click it, it take me to where? It took me to another place. So we can see how we can use an image to create our own links. That when we link it, it takes us to another page, possibly that will tell us the detail about that image. So let's see how we can link to, look at here now. If I come to this page now and do something like, imagine I have here, I want to clear what I have here. I have here, I do something like, this is still my HR tag here. Then inside this my HR tag, I have something here. Please just pay attention what I'm doing. Look at here. I did not use, I just put a name. Then inside this name, I can call it about. Here, assuming here, I now say about. Did you see? I did not use what? href here. I just use what? A name. So now here on this one now, let me say this is services. I can come here and say a named equals to service. Then here I put service. Now I want this thing to be, now I want to create a link that when somebody click, it can come here immediately. If somebody click another, like the service link, it can come here immediately. This is not taking me to outside my page. It's taking me, jumping to different section of my page. That's why it's called named anchor. Then if I want to do something like this, all I need to do is make sure the text you want them to jump to, give them what they call what? Create an A tag, give it a name, give it a name, like here is about, here is a service. Then you put the text you want to see that talks about this whole detail that I have here. You can put them in between here. If you like, you can put them outside here. It does not matter. But what matters is the name here and what you have here. Then how do we link all these things together? Very simple. I can come here now and say, I still use my href here, but here now, I'm specifying what? Look at what I did. I put what? I put this pound sign and now said about. And here now I put about. That's how we link. Then here I can come here and now said A. Then I now put href. Then I put my pound sign. Then I now put what? Service, the name. me still remember what we are doing here is that we don't want to move to another page. We want to link to a section on the same page. Very simple. This is what the person will click. Where will it take him to? It will take him here. Here that I highlighted. If the person click on this one, it will take him what? Here. Very simple. All the places you want the person to just go and give it a name, about or whatever, give it a name or whatever is the value of the name. Come here. The most important thing is this pound sign. It must be pound sign about. That pound sign about is telling the system, is telling the browser is interpreting it that this is within the same page. It is not outside the page. So the browser will now jump and start looking for what? For an A that has what? About. Whenever it sees it, it will stop there so that you can see. Let's just view this in and look at the outcome. If I come here and refresh now, oh sugar, all those things. Okay, let's do something. I just want to do something. Just forget what I did. It's not necessary for now. We are going to learn it. This does not still give me what I want. I need a very long page. Okay, I will duplicate all these texts, all these messages as much as I can. Because they are not in paragraphs, so you're just pushing everything on one line. Remember, you can use your BR tag and make everything how you want them to appear. Okay. So I can copy this guy and just repeat the same thing. So if I now come here, I want to put this thing inside H1 tag so that it will just stand out. So I want to put this one too inside H1 tag. So let's preview now and see what we get. Okay, now I have this. Imagine some pages you go, very big pages. You read. Sometimes you are not interested in about, you're only interested in the service. I can just come here and click on service. I click on my HTML service. You see my about, it takes me to the about. Let me go back again. Let me go back on top. Now, about, let's my about page. Let me see. So my about takes me to about, in this my about goes, there's my service. So my service is not jumping. Okay, your own is still, okay, my guy, okay, let me look at my service, what's happening. Service, okay, let me check. My bar looks okay. You jump into my bar, so let me look at my service and see whether I have service dot, that's my name anchor. Okay, so look at my spelling. I did not get my service correct. So that's why it's not jumping to the service. Please, you see, I missed the R there. So I've corrected my service now. So that's why it's jumping to my about. It's not jumping to my this. So if I now come up here, let's go direct to index page where we start. So this is my index page. Now let me click on service and see what happened. You see, it jumped to service. Now, if I scroll up now, I can scroll up now. If I click on about, it's going to go just direct to about. So that's how you can use to create your name anchor. If I go to my service now, to just take me to service. So I can use this mechanism and just create a single page. Like somebody will ask me, Kelechi, I want you to do me to create a service page, this blah, blah, blah page. I can just do everything in one page and just use name anchor to link everything together. I just want you to understand that we have something like that. Now, but the question is, somebody may ask, how about if I want to link from index page to another page, but I want the browser to scroll to a specific part of that page? I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. I want to go to, let me copy this guy. I want to go to about page. But in this about page, I want the browser to come here. I just want to see the content that is here. Let me just copy everything here. Sorry, let me copy everything here. And come to about and paste it. Now I want somebody to click on the about. I want to come to service. I don't want to see the top, which is about. I just want to come to this section called service about section. Service about section. This is the place I want to land to. But I want to come here from where? From my index page. It's very simple. The same way you did for your on the same page. Just come here and create a name anchor here. If you create that name anchor here, I'll copy the name of my name anchor, which is what? Service. Then I'll go to index. Then if I now go to index, I want to link it from where? I want to link it from this about. But remember, the name of the page is what? I want to link it from here. Service about. When somebody click here, I want to go to the service page, but I want to land. I don't want to start from scrolling from behind. I want to land to the service section of that page. All you need to do is the same thing. Which page do you want to go to? Let me remove these two guys so that we don't get. So which page do you want to go to? Still come here and put your hash ref. Then which page do I want to link to? I want to link to, that's from index, right? Then I need to go one folder / what? Pages / about. If I do this thing now, it will just take me to where? If I view this thing now, let's view this thing now. If I view it this way and come to index, you see where now come to index, it takes me from the beginning. But this is where I want to come. I want to come here. I want the site to take me here. I don't want it to start from the beginning. But if I go back now and click on this page, if I come here and click and just come to index, this is where it will take me. Anytime I come to index, this is where it will take me. But I want to go to my, this is my index page. Then from here now, if I click here, it just takes me to about. But that is not where I want to go. I want to land where? On this service section of the page. So how do I do that? In the same way, the same thing you did. But remember, when I'm linking for the same page, what do? I put a hash sign, right? Then I put the name of that section. That is the anchored name for that section. But because this is to another page, I will put the name of that page I want to go. I will not put hash symbol and put the section I want it to go to. This is the page I'm going to when you click on service about. But which section of the page do I want this thing to land? The service. Because if you look at here, if you go to about, You come to service. It has a named anchor called what? Service. If you look at here, look at it, A, named, service. So what this thing means is that if I come to index, I'll say this thing should go to index page, but the section I want to go what? Is the service. Always remember to put the hash, the pound symbol. If it is on the same page, I don't need to refer to any page. All I need is just from here. From here to here, that's just what I need to put. But it's in another page, I need to put the page I'm going to. Then I now use the pound symbol to indicate the section of the page that I want to see first. So let's go and view this and see whether we have that, whether it's going to work. So this is my index page. So let's go to index page. So this is my index page now. So let me click it and so that I'll click this guy. Look at your left hand side of my page, of my screen. You see where it says it's going to what? About pound service, right? So let's click it. You see the way it took me now? It took me there directly. So it did not take me from it did not show me the beginning, it just showed me that section of the page. So these are the things we can do using named anchor. Named anchor is not just linking within the same page. You can use to link to another section of another page. So that's what the name anchor is all about. This is very powerful and you can use it for a lot of things as we are going to see. Just what I want you to be doing now is understand the concept. Just understand the concept. But the magic and the things we are going to use it to do, when we'll be using this thing to work, you won't believe that it is this thing that we have learned now that we are putting into use. Any question? Any question on this name anchor? I know it's a little bit, but if you practice it, if you just go and practice it on your own, you just get the hang of it. So I'll quickly introduce us to images. So I'll clear everything here. Okay, let me go to about, let me use so all of us we have seen images a lot. So how do we include, I'll show us how to include images on our site. Then I'll show us how we are going to, so sorry, I wipe out all this thing. So let me just quickly, I always do these things. So you quickly do it until you master how to, I don't need a title. If you need a title, you can put on your own. What I just want to put now is body. Now, how do I link an image? That's what they call an image tag. So if you want to link an image, all you need to do is you use this tag, img. That's what we use for image. Then if I want to use an image, my image can be on my system. It can be on the same folder. It can be an image somewhere, I don't know, in a server. But like I want to link to this image now. I want my site to display this image here, that is here. So this image can be anywhere. You want your site to view this image. So what do? All you need to do is you must provide what they call SRC. SRC stands for source. What is the source of the image you want to link to? What is the source of the image you want to link to? Now, if the image is, so what we're going to demonstrate now, how do I link image that is on my system, and how do I reference external images? Now, let me look for an image on my system and copy. So now, normally, what we normally do is that, let me just create a separate folder now. There's a file. Let me say images. You see, this image is what? JPEG. So if I want to link this images, what do? I'll just say the same way you use your hash. Where is the location of this image? From my current place, I want to go to where? Images. From images, I want to link what? This guy. That is all about linking images. As simple as that. There is no way. All you need to do is just this tag. Just remember the img tag. And you see the way I close it? It's a self-closing what? Element. Any element you close this way, look at these two. Look at the things I'm going to do here. If I do something, look at A. When I use the A tag, I close it this way. But for the image, it's like this. So this is called a self-closing tag. It's a self-closing tag. We call it void tags. So they close itself. You don't close them this way. So when we are learning the tag, you know the ones that are self-closing and the ones that are not. So an image is a self-closing tag. So what do? Let's view this thing and see what we got. So that's on my index page. Then if I go to my index page, hurrah. So this is my picture here. So we can see this image. But the question is, this image is very, very big. Can we decide this image? Can we decide the height and width that we want? Yes, we can decide the height and width that we want. That is when we now use what they call attributes. An attribute is a characteristics of something. An attribute describes something. You understand me? If I say Kelechi is a yellow guy, yellow is just an attribute to Kelechi. You understand me? So these things are what? So let's describe an attribute. An image have what? An attribute of height and width. So I can come here and specify the width. I can say I want the width to be what they call 50. This is called 50 px. Px stands for pixel. It's an image measurement. We're going to talk about that. Then I can decide it to be 50. I can give the height whatever I want. Let me say I want to give the height to the same thing 50. So what this means is that my image is going to reduce. But this is not the way you're going to be working. In real life, if you need an image that is 50 by 50, ask your graphic designer or you yourself go and design that image to 50 to 50. Because it is the browser that is resizing this image. You are still downloading all these images from the server and they are still taking up your bandwidth. You understand? So don't, because you can resize image, when you are working on an application and you need 50 by 50 image, if you know you are going to do a heavy resizing, ask the person, please give me 50 by 50 image. That is what I need. Don't go and try to use your word and resize. But if there is no way you can get somebody to help you, you can use this guy for the meanwhile and get the work going until you get someone that can now resize it for you. So somebody asked a question, say, Mr. Kelechi, instead of moving the image to my folder, can I copy the image file path from anywhere on my system? You can copy the image from anywhere on your system. You can copy as long as you will give the full part of that image, the system will display it. As long as you give the full part of where the image is, the system will display it. So I'm putting this guy because it's relative to where? It's relative to where my folder structure. So if I come here now and refresh, I got my image. So I got a very smaller. I see my system. Hello. It seems I'm very far. Can you see my system?
Yes, we can. Yes, can see your system.
Okay, sorry. Okay. So you see, it has resized the image. Now the question is, how do I reference external images? Images that in somewhere site, in another person's site. So let me just go to Google and search for images. I can go to getimages.com anywhere, just search images. Please don't put another person's image on your system. So see what I just did now. So I just want to copy the image address. It's the address that is important to me, nothing else. I can come here and just copy the image address. I copy the address. So I will just go back to my site. I can come here. If I just want to paste it here, so I just remove everything here and just paste it. So just go there, copy the image address and just paste it. I just want to see the full images. I don't want to give it a size. I can save now. I can just go and select to preview it. Now I get the whole images. So you see, you can, no, somebody may ask me a question and said, Kelechi, but there is no extension here. How come? What happened? I'm looking at these images now. It does not have any extension like JPEG, PNG, or all the extension that you know about images, GIF, and the rest. But this one does not have extension. What happened here is that I'll show you how to do this. You just call this guy. This guy will just go to the server, and let's read this browser, you will see something. Let's right click. Okay, let me reduce this. Let me reduce the size of the image. Let me give the height to be let me say 200 px, and the width to be 100 px. It doesn't show us how the image come. So if I now come here and refresh, so if I right click on my page, I select view source. Okay. So what really happened here is that this image now is being called on the go. You are going to learn how to do this thing. That's the essence why we have MVC. You are going to see how to do this thing. So you can this thing is just calling the server. The server will control the email and just send. So you can do it and just put the byte, just display the byte of the image immediately. Let me still do something. Just hold on. I want to check. Okay, so when we do, so okay, so look at it still have a type called JPEG. The document type is still JPEG, but you are not seeing that it's a JPEG. So we are going to see how to do this. So in fact, it's just most of the way you can display your image dynamically. You have them on your server, you can just display them. You don't need to specify the type. But I just want to confirm to you that it's an image. If you look at the type here, it's saying it is JPEG. So we are going to do it. Most of those people that does e-commerce, that's normally what they do. So they just go, they don't just go and display the image just like that. They store the images and they don't reference it directly. When you just call the application will call to the server. The server will now generate the image and pass it across. We are going to see how we do all these things. But I just want to confirm that what you are seeing here is an image, even if you are not seeing the extension here in the code that has an image. So this is the way we display an image, nothing more, nothing less. Now this image, we are going to style all these things. We are going to make them look nice. We are going to display text. We are going to display this image. After displaying this image, we make some text appear by the right-hand side, give it a very nice margin and all these things. But that is where we are going to go there. We are going to come there. But the most important thing for you to learn now is I should be able to display image. At least I understand what an image tag is. And I understand that an image tag has what? An attribute. Then another important attribute of an image tag you need to understand is what we call ALT. This thing stands for what? Please, whenever you put an image on the site, always use this. It's called the alternative text. If you want to know the full meaning, what it means is that there are some people, those guys that are all these people that doesn't see very, very well. there are some kind of assistive devices they are using to read the website, to read the pages, because web pages are not for is for everybody, whether you are blind or you understand. So it's for everybody. If you are visually impaired, you can still go to the site and understand what the page is all about. So there are some sites I will go sometimes, I will not see the image, but if you know what the image is all about, the essence you have an image should have a description. So whatever that image is, put it here, describe it here. This is where you describe it and say, just put whatever you want to put there. So what happens is that if the browser cannot display this image, or eventually the browser did not find this image, what happens is that it will display this text, that is this text for the image. So always understand one thing. Anytime you say this attribute define an alternative text description of the image, because there are some devices you can use that may not be able to display images. If you have them on your site, then you should be able to let the person know what the image is all about, because application is for everybody, whether visually impaired or not. This is what is part of the things we call to make your website accessible to a good number of users. Please always remember this ALT stands for alternate text whenever you want to put your images. So we are going to be looking, when we learn about JavaScript and all the rest, we'll look at how we can create thumbnails from images. From when we finish this HTML and go to CSS, don't worry, our page will start looking very, very great and very, very good. But our goal for now is understand the tags. Any question? So I don't know. I think it seems we are going to stop here if there is no question. Genesis. But before so I think I don't want to bombard. We still have in our next class. In our next class we'll be discussing about table. From table we'll discuss about forms. At least if we do the tables and do the forms, at least we'll be fine with HTML, because this HTML we are going to still be revisiting it even when we are doing JavaScript. But it's good for us to get a starting point, so that when we start writing script and start targeting element, because the script will be writing, JavaScript will be writing, the CSS will be writing, they are all targeting something on this HTML document. So we'll still be visiting HTML as we go on. So I think the basic thing now we need to cover is we need to cover tables, how to display tabular data. I will now discuss about forms. So I think a class can do for these two. So before we now go back to our HTML. Before then, I have a book I will share on our today. I'll share it this night. I'll share it on our WhatsApp group. Please read that book. Read everything about that HTML on that book. After our class, I'm going to give an assessment. That assessment is not compulsory. If you do it, fine. But if you do it and give to me, I will look at it and be able to advise based on what you will do. So I'll be able to give you my advice. But one thing I want you to know is this: if I give you that stuff, do it. So I will share the book. The book is about HTML. Go and read that HTML. I will not discuss about how to put video and how to put audio for now. But when we do JavaScript, we'll now visit this guy and be able to be talking about how to put video and how to put audio on your system. If I give you the tag now, you're just putting the tag, but we need to manipulate the tag. So we are going to still be revisiting HTML. Even when we start learning the FVC, we are going to still be visiting HTML. But the most important thing is to have a footing for you to know what tag is all about, so that when I introduce a new tag in our subsequent classes, you'll be able to say, yes, I know what tag is all about, I know what attribute is all about. So we'll be working with HTML, because everything about website is HTML. HTML defines the structure. Every other thing is just to augment this HTML. It's either